Hello everybody, this is Chef Tootie with Abby Singer's Bistro in downtown Shreveport, coming to you today to help your holidays seem so easy, so bright, so fancy. Today we're going to do a Brie and Croûte, which is Brie wrapped in puff pastry. Puff pastry can be found at your local grocery store in your freezer section. I have mine already thawed, and I have coated it with warm spices of cinnamon and nutmeg. So what I'm going to do is take my Brie, because it's fairly large, depending on how many people you'll be feeding, I'm going to cut mine in half. I'm simply going to place it in the middle of the puff pastry, and we're just going to fold around the Brie. And don't worry, if it seems a little odd to you, it'll be fine in just a minute. So I'm simply wrapping the puff pastry around the Brie. Make sure that you tuck it, because if not, you're going to have a little cheesy pancake. So I'm simply pressing the Brie to coat. I'm gonna go corner to corner. I'm gonna take my knife and trim a little bit off, okay? After I've trimmed, I'm just gonna simply fold to the shape of my Brie, which mimics a little rope around the outside of your Brie. Now for me, I personally like this side up, but of course if you would like, you can turn it over, which gives you a smoother side. I, however, like this side and the detail of this. So I'm simply going to brush it with melted butter, just with a brush. If you don't have a brush, you can of course do this with a spoon by just drizzling it over. But I'm just going to go around the whole thing, because the butter is going to give you that pretty golden brown look to your Brie and Croûte once it's been placed in the oven. I have an oven that has been preset at 350 degrees, and this will probably take about 10 to 12 minutes to get the really brown color that you want. If it stays in the oven too long, your cheese is going to start to run out. So you only want to leave this in the oven long enough until your puff pastry is a gorgeous golden brown color. If not, you're going to have a bit of a mess, and you're going to be a little bit upset. It's still going to be delicious, but it won't be as pretty. So we're going to go into the oven at 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes, and it'll be yummy. However you want your cheese board to look, that's going to be your decision. I've just decided to go the sweet and savory route. You can go completely sweet, completely savory. It is entirely up to you, but this is going to be delicious. Pecans, just to roast them off, we're just going to place them in the oven on that same 350 degrees just until you can smell them. If you smell them burnt, it's too late. You just want to smell the aroma of pecan with a little color to them, and you guys should be fine. Then you're just going to take them out and chop them up to your liking. And these are just apples. You can do a fresh apple, you can do canned apple in water. Don't do the pie filling, because if you do the pie filling, it's actually going to cause your Brie and Croûte to rupture, okay? So we don't want that. So simply go with a fresh apple or a canned apple without any liquid, okay? So guys, I have my apples. I'm just going to add those to a pot with a little nutmeg, brown sugar, and melted butter. So I'm just adding a little bit of melted butter to my apples, and they're just gonna simmer in the pot until tender, and it's gonna thicken up for you because of the brown sugar.
How long does this take?
And this generally takes about 5 to 8 minutes. Again, you want to be sure that your fire is medium, not too high, because it is sugar and it will scorch. So just be careful with the temperature on your fire. If you're cooking on an electric stove, I would go low, and if it's taking a little long to come to a boil, just increase your heat just a little bit. You just want to be careful because right now you see I already have bubbles. So I'm going to adjust my heat and turn it down just a little bit and let it cook for about 5 to 6 more minutes just until those apples are tender, okay? So guys, we're out of the oven and I'm just gonna remove it from my baking element and place it on my serving platter. And the apples that I showed you guys earlier that I just cooked down with the brown sugar, butter, cinnamon, and nutmeg is going to be the topping for your Brie and Croûte, okay? So I'm simply going to cover, not the entire Brie and Croûte, because you still want to be able to see the golden color of the puff pastry. I'm gonna sprinkle it with a little pecan. I'm gonna do a drizzle of caramel. And to sprinkle the powdered sugar, just for presentation. So, this wouldn't be a cooking video if I didn't show you guys what the inside of this looks like. So, here is the inside of your Brie and Croûte. So guys, I just cut a little piece to show you how your Brie is going to look in the inside of your puff pastry. And this is your finished product. And of course, this is a perfect addition to any cheese board, and you can just go ahead and cover it with prosciutto, figs, anything that you want to fancy it up for your holiday guests, you go right ahead, but this alone is delicious. Thanks for spending the day with me. Enjoy.